Like this car is making a couple different noises. So they complained originally about the car making a strange noise when starting up, and I mean it seemed to have like a couple different noises going on. It's been sitting like 20 hours. So when I first started up, it has a rattle. I wish I would have recorded it first, but I didn't. And I'm pretty sure it's coming from the timing gear, since that's variable or variating. So the oil pressure does have to pressurize that, and if it's worn out or inadequate oil, it'll vibrate. So I know that's common. Could be timing chain components cause it a little rattle also, but I think that rattle with the timing gear in combination with the belt here makes for this is a greater inconvenience. I'm trying to narrow down this problem, but I will say the oil is overdue by 1,000 miles, and so this is basically going to need a oil change, and I'm going to see if I can get the car to make the noise, but I want to change this belt too. Let me see if I can get it to make noise again. Try to isolate that, take some brake cleaner, spray the belt. See if there's anything else. So the noise did subside when hitting it with brake cleaner. Uh-oh. Got a mess here. I'm using brake cleaner because the belt is like old anyway. It's dry rotted, so. So they were saying this might be the starter, but no, it's beyond. Like it's not that. It's not beyond it, but it's not the starter. So simply, I'm gonna put a serpentine belt on here and change the oil. It's gonna need some basic maintenance, and I would assume that should alleviate, or I want to say sedate, the rattling noise when it starts up, being that it's 1,000 miles out of due, past due, and the cars have really been driven like that. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, the first thing I'm gonna work on doing is getting this serpentine belt replaced. It's gonna be a little dark in here. All right, first off, I'm gonna take this reservoir out, and got everything else exposed here. Pretty much cut and dry. There's gonna be the tensioner right there. I should be able to get a simple like 14 socket on there and turn it loose. See if I can take it off the rigid side. Get my hand over to. Ah, shit. Nah, it's cool. So we're on the, of course, the passenger side. Looking up inside the wheel well.
crank pulley. Should be a decent view of how everything's supposed to go. So work on getting this built off and my tools.
Let's see, squeeze this back under here, like so. Check over my belt, make sure everything's lined up pretty good. Moving towards changing the oil. Cooperate. So we got the drain plug and the oil filter there. I was going to use a 17 to break that loose. Drain bolt. My pen. So mind you, this oil hasn't been changed in, well, it's 1,000 miles overdue. So, but as far as the date, I have to look back at it and see when it was supposed to be due to be changed. But with the miles on this car, it's not supposed to be looking like this. But it looks good under the, when you take the oil cap off inside the valve cover. So that's always a plus side. Taking this filter off. Yeah, I do believe that noise had a lot to do with the fact that, of course, this oil isn't changed. I mean, it does not look that good. You know, telling. I know the car been sitting for a while, so. And this is supposed to be a 0 weight. I mean, it's full like a 530 to me.
everything knocked out. It's gonna be the first startup with a new belt and new oil. So that noise was the noise I was referring to when it would start up and it was annoying. It would do that for a longer period, but I mean obviously it'll be because of the oil filter probably being stopped up or inadequate lubrication, but that's what it would sound like. So that noise was generated as a result of the oil being drained and having to put fresh oil in there and it needing to circulate. So I'm gonna so the belt would squeak when you make noise when you start it up. So I'm gonna cut it off a couple times and then start it back up and see if that belt would make noise again like it was before. Reset the light key on. Push the reset and hold that till all the lights start flashing. Put off. Push it back after 3 flashes. Should go and it's 100%. So just that simple. All right, so this is done. It's again, it's a 2014 CRV. The rattle noise should be remedied as a result of the oil change, being that the oil hasn't been changed in a while, 1,000 miles past due. It's probably been sitting for a long time too. I'm not sure. I just know partly that this vehicle is just a secondary vehicle. The noise as a result of the belt during startup, that should have been remedied, and it is fixed as a result of changing the belt. So I got a new Gates brand belt on there, so that's good to go. So we know how to do the light. Other than that, I mean, it's a simple maintenance replacement, nothing special. So I mean, you can see how important it is to keep the maintenance up on it. You know, even though we couldn't really hear the noise, but that noise when it originally started up, basically the one that you heard when I first changed the oil, that rattling noise it would carry on a little longer than what you heard in the morning times. So I mean that could just be due because of oil starvation or inadequate filter. So the filter's technically like stopped up. I mean a lot of noise can be alleviated just from changing the oil and filter with something new. So, but I guess keep the maintenance up on the vehicles. You know that helps a whole lot. But hey, anything I have on this vehicle, hit that link, subscribe to the channel, have that reassurance of my work, and I'll see you on the next one.